Are we on? Yes?
We are.
Hi! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another exciting episode of weekly Dead by Daylight Twitch session with my best friends.
Is that true?
Well, you know,
Mostly.
it's mostly true.
At least 75%.
You're in the top 12 for sure.
That's nice.
All right. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, so we will get to it. I like just shuffling papers.
Well, it's
it
new
feels
newsreader.
extremely
It
professional.
does. It makes you feel like you're in control.
All right. So, what do we have today? Let's start with some questions, which will then very casually lead into some stuff that we want to talk about anyway. So we're going through the questions we had from last week and the week before that were left over. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Good?
with that.
Let's do this. So, right, the first question is probably for you, Dave. Why are all the perks locked behind such a massive grind wall? 80 to 100 hours to get a character to 40, 50. Multiply that by 7 character to access teachable perks across them. Why?
Because we wanted a long progression.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. Where do the devs see this game in a few years? What impressions are you striving for with the players of this game in said years to come?
Well, I think it's a big question, but we'd like to just be able to expand this game as much as possible, and I think the idea of having many more killers in the future with many more powers, new survivors with new perks, and trying to get to a balance where we can have this really dynamic system and eventually get to the dream, which is you really don't know what you're facing and you really don't know where you are, and so many levels and so many different things, and that's the goal over the next few years. I mean, the idea is that it will never end. So
True story.
there you go.
What are your thoughts about the rumor about a killer that can look like a survivor? Those are rumors, they are lies, they are not true, or are they?
Well, not true is a big set of words, and lies is a big word.
I like the idea.
We've talked about this before.
Have you?
Yes.
And how do you know one of the survivors isn't a killer?
We have to practice our freeze frame.
Oh, no, we were good at freeze frame. We're good
Dave
at that. We've got
never
that.
does it.
No, but that's the clue they're looking for.
All right. Will there ever be an ultra-rare add-on for Trapper to permanently prevent Trapper's traps from being destroyed, or perhaps a new considerately increased sabotage time add-on instead of moderately as of now?
That's too many words.
No, but yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna happen.
No, but yeah, absolutely.
No, but yeah, but
Yeah,
maybe,
but no, but
yeah,
absolutely,
maybe.
for sure, definitely, maybe not.
Mm.
Sorry.
So what I wanted to say is there will be more add-ons for all the killers, for items as well. We've started with this set, and there's going to be more.
Thank you. Biker outfit for Dwight?
is Dwight a biker? Is he?
He's not really a
well,
biker.
There's an interesting question coming up about what outfits do we see coming for the different characters.
Yeah, and there's a thing that, we never want to do silly. We might do things that are
Is
a
it?
little
I don't
bit
think-
tongue-in-cheek
I don't
at
think
some point.
biker is silly.
Well, biker is not silly, but in the
On
case of
Dwight,
Dwight,
it's
it
a
would
bit
be
silly.
very silly.
Yeah, it would not
Yeah.
work.
Anyway.
No. But there's a connected question that I got on Reddit, I think, was that the latest round of costumes that we did seems a little bit random, but they're not. Actually, they're linked
We'll
to...
get to that.
It's actually in
Yeah,
there?
it's in there.
Oh, okay.
I know those of us who are forced to play with a controller are a minority. That is not true.
That is
Well, maybe
not-
the ones that are forced. Although I don't see how you could be forced. That would mean that you have a computer without a mouse and keyboard. Oh, maybe you're playing on a laptop. I don't know.
Disability.
I
maybe?
choose to play with a controller. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I choose to play with the controller.
But I would like to know if the next patch will have a new keybinds to fix these issues to the controller or not.
Oh,
So
they're
like,
forced because they hate the keyboard layout, maybe?
the map out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any reason?
Yes, key bindings. That's coming at breakneck speed.
So that is coming.
Yeah.
We are working on that. That will come
Will the current killer get voice lines in the near future? Additionally, will there be a killer in the future that does have voice lines?
soon. Well, I'd never say never.
You
Not-
just did twice.
yeah, that's a harsh way of saying never say never. I never say never ever. That's better? Okay,
Yes.
maybe. But
I
not planning about
rarely
it this
ever
time.
say the word.
I mostly am almost definitely positive maybe.
So killers don't have. Well, actually, even survivors don't have actual words coming out of their mouths.
No.
They
Mouth
groan
words.
and they may snicker and whatever, but they do not
Have mouth words.
have mouth words. They do not have mouth words.
Mm.
It might be because of their salty lips.
Maybe they can't speak.
Will there be an ultra-rare add-on to the Survivor that will considerably decrease the sabotage time or completely removes all trap from the Trapper? I think that might be a little silly.
Yeah, that would be too much.
I think, you know, when it comes to one that...
No, I mean, probably the question was asked by someone that had a high level of sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you don't get an actual answer. Why is the full screen mode not regular full screen but borderless full screen? Can you please make it regular full screen? So more graphic options is something that we're looking at right now. Obviously, we made a decision. We have a small set of those different options that we're giving you, and we'll hopefully be able to add more and more as the time comes. Will there be any tweaks to sound and music? We answered that one many times, I think.
No, but the sound is an ongoing thing where we're constantly talking about finding different ways of
Well, the sound in the game, yes, but the idea of being able to tweak, well, I don't know if that's the question, but being able to tweak the different values of sound in the options, that's something that we sort of want to keep out of the hands of the people, because you need it to play.
out of your hands.
Will there be a new type of, a new weapon type for the killer, or just skins?
For what? Sorry.
For the
Killers?
killer.
Yes.
New
killers.
weapon types for the killers, or just skins?
Well,
Considering
skins,
that
but
right now
they
every
change. Yeah.
killer weapon acts pretty much the same.
Yes, yes. But if you go have a look at some of the concepts, either in the Artbook or actually only in the Artbook,
Yeah.
they have varied weapon. That they are skin, like they don't give you something special or more damage or things like that, but they are
Visually very
visually
different. Yeah, true. What are your plans for the use of vertical space? I really enjoy maps with two-story buildings, and I'd like to see more of them.
I mean, I'd love us to mature our maps to start incorporating two-story buildings. I mean, it's something that we prototyped early on. It was we tried some stuff out early on. We have some two-story buildings. We've seen them in the Foundry, for example, and the warehouse. So if ever we were to get a chance to do a new level, maybe it would have a two-story building.
That's exciting. Okay. Could we possibly have a map that is set during the day instead of at night?
We possibly could, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
possible.
yeah.
Absolutely possibly.
No, yes, maybe, absolutely.
Yeah, more than definitely, maybe.
I will even put a check mark right
Yeah,
there.
check the positive, maybe, definitely.
Are you planning on adding more monsters or survivors in the future?
Possibly.
I find it funny that people call them monsters.
Yeah,
well,
might be
they
that,
are
but
in some case.
Well, they are in some cases.
Dude, survivors call them monsters.
And
killers-
technically, they don't just kill, so I guess it's sort of accurate.
What
We could
makes
call
a
them
monster?
monsters.
But the friendly monster.
Some are friendly.
Well, they're
some are
not
a little too
all
friendly.
slashers. They're not all monsters.
No.
But they're all killers. That's
Yeah.
So maybe they're specifically asking for a monster.
maybe.
So yes, we are planning on adding more monsters and or survivors in the future, which will lead us to. Oh, we could probably.
Why don't you segue?
Let's segue
Let's
here.
take a moment to discuss.
I want to talk about the new chapters that we will do. So you've seen updates from us, you've seen patches and quick things. Patches that contained quite a lot of things, and patches that were just bug fixes and tweaks and add-ons. But we are working on something which you will see in the month of August. So that's very, very short term, because the month of August is already almost halfway there. And we call those chapters because they will include quite a lot of stuff, and they will bring a brand new chapter in the story.
Yeah, it's a new
essentially.
chapter in the story.
So
Continuation.
the recipe that we've come up with right now, this might change a little bit in the future, but the recipe we have right now to create one of those chapters is essentially a new killer, a new survivor, and a new area for them to battle in. Obviously, you've played the game, so you know that killers, survivors, and maps are not necessarily they're interchangeable. You can play everyone everywhere, but so yeah. Yeah,
that seemed like the formula that we're most set on right now. So that's what we're working towards. We think it'll make a compelling little fun addition for the game when it comes.
So, yes. in the month of August, I think I said.
Did you say that?
Yes.
I didn't hear.
Oh, also I've been told, because I'm well trained by our marketing and our marketing department, Paul. The new chapter that we have in August is going to be absolutely free for everyone because we love you so much and we want to thank you for your support and affection in the last month and a half that we've been out. And so yes, the first one will be absolutely free. I don't know about the rest yet. I will be told that information by some people with very, very serious ties, I'm sure.
So new things.
New
August, free.
Yeah.
What?
Killer, survivor, and a place for them to chase each other around.
And no commitment.
None.
Apart from that.
No.
Let's
Okay.
do that. They wanted a hint about a new killer.
Yes.
Do you have a hint?
No.
Okay.
No. Not at this moment.
I wouldn't wouldn't look out for any hints.
Nope. Don't.
If you look at Matt's t-shirt, you will not get a hint.
That's true.
And if you look at Dave's glasses, there's even less of a hint.
Will there be a queue for lobby searching soon, or dedicated servers? Ah, that's a big one, and it comes back in many different shapes and forms.
Yeah.
Open the
So-
box.
Open the box. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about the lobby.
Okay. Do
yeah.
you need your visual aid?
Well, we could talk about this first. Yeah.
Oh, it's the matchmaking and lobby and everything. We might as well get
Let's
into that.
take a moment to talk about the ranking, the reset, just so everyone knows.
Yeah,
what
okay.
it's
Okay.
But before we go, do you want to? Well, so we're going to be doing our reset of the rank. It's going to be a new season starting.
Oh, true.
We just wanted to explain.
That's
a little
tomorrow,
bit,
right?
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to explain a little bit about what's going to happen to your rank when that happens, exactly what happens, and the new rules for next season. So Dave, take it
So
away.
yeah, so you will go down in rank. What?
Oh, no, go on.
You will go down in rank. That's what happens on rank reset. And basically, we will give you a pip for each rank that you've managed to get.
So like last time.
Like exactly, it's always going to be the same.
But it's just a re-explanation of.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
to
no,
show
that's
you know,
fine.
you will
So-
lose, and you know. You
I was
Everybody
doing
goes
this.
down.
Yeah.
Everybody goes down.
I don't understand.
For you know,
I
again.
don't understand. One more.
But there is a change this season in how we award pips. So that's the big change. And
True.
yeah, I guess we should show it right now.
Yeah,
So
show
you gotta
the,
show
show
us
the
the bit?
image. Yeah.
No, that's not it. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Oh yeah. All right. So you can see a black pip on the screen.
You can't
on
see
the-
it.
It's
See
really
the
it's really
black
hard to
pip.
see. It's really hard to see, but it is there.
Do you have a mouse pointer on that thing? No. Okay.
That's fine. So what happens is that we've added a zero zone from 7K to 10K. If you get into that zone, you will not lose a pip and you will not gain a pip. That's the big difference. So if you have a not so good game or a very efficient one, you will probably end up in that zone, which will not punish you, but will not reward you. And that's it.
So one of the big things about this change is going to be that we've obviously looked at a lot of some of the issues around matchmaking about rank 1 killers with rank 20. We're looking at a lot of different issues. Dave will cover some of that in a minute, but we're hoping that what this does will more appropriately give you a rank based on your skill, which we're testing. We're trying it out this season, see if it works. Which should more evenly distribute all of us across all the ranks. I'm obviously speaking from the point of view of a level 20 can't get to rank 19, but nonetheless, this should give a much more even distribution, which means there should be at its core better matchmaking with higher and lower rank killers. That's our goal as a very easy starting point to fix some of the matchmaking issues that we've all seen in the game. There's some other things that we're doing as well on the matchmaking, but this is
We'll get to that a little after. Okay. Would you be willing to tell us some killer designs or themes that you considered in the past? Not asking for spoilers on what your
I just want to say, someone said, how come you don't read from Twitch chat? Just
Okay, so I will address this. The Twitch chat is very difficult to deal with. It's fast and people scream and ask things. That's why we instigated the Steam thread where we have questions, and we didn't do it this week because we still had a backlog of questions and we like to get to them as much as we can. So usually, like there's someone here that keeps an eye on the chat and try to see if there's anything specific that pops up.
There's also colleagues upstairs that are looking
yes,
at the chat.
and then we have our moderators that are looking at that. But mostly we wanted to make sure that we got to most of the questions. I mean, the ones that are screened in the chat right now, we're looking at very distractedly, and yeah. But our feeling is that it gives a better flow to the stream to have questions that have already been selected and worded properly, because sometimes it's also very hard to read when it's just mangled in a chat.
So yes, we have mods who are filtering some of the questions for us as well.
So, would you be willing to tell us some killer designs and teams that you have considered in the past, not asking for spoilers on what you're currently working on, just anything else you've thought of?
I mean, we have a long list of ideas. Things that we've tried out a lot of different stuff in the past. I mean, it's ranged from even, I mean, like, it's hard to talk about them in case we want to use them, because we're still, going through some of our successful prototypes and going through them. So, like, I mean, they've ranged across the board from very, very powerful, from flying things to things that just pass through walls to things that destroy the entire level to projectile weapons to all kinds of things. We've tried out a whole lot, and we have ideas for even more that we want to do. So picking the right one for the right moment is quite a challenge actually for us, because it's not a small undertaking. And
it's hard for us to talk about it because there are so many of those ideas. Actually, most of them we want to have them at some point. We're hoping that we'll well, there's one or two that we get a feeling, like the one that just destroyed everything in the level. We probably will not have that. No. But that was super funny in the prototype, where you could actually, any surface, any object that you happened upon, you could press the button and that object would disappear. So you essentially destroyed the whole map, and then you ended up in a flat land of nothing.
Literally, like if you were hiding too. I mean, it was designed around the concept of what if someone was going to do nothing. It was like, well then, like, killer can destroy everything.
Yeah.
But in that prototype we had a lot of other features as well. Like we had the ability to climb ladders, and then you could smash walls and knock them down off floors and go through the floor and move, and it was a very different thing altogether. So so what we do is we look at some of those ideas, and then we try and work out how we might reimagine them within the game we have, and then if we want to do it, then we move forward.
Should lockers be buffed in any way? So yesterday I was watching Ash play against random people, and Ash uses the lockers quite a lot.
All the time.
And it's very, very funny because there's sort of a loop where people go, nobody uses the lockers because, they're shitty and they never work, and you always get caught. So then the killers stop looking in lockers because obviously nobody's dumb enough to use them. And it actually works quite a lot of the time.
It's quite dynamic. I mean, you don't know, but it can. The locker can be the most powerful thing in the world, or it can be an utter disaster. But it's a play style. I mean, I find it very effective personally.
That said, we did modify the lockers.
We did. There were some things that were.
It was a little loud, so we greased the hinges and put a little bit of foam on the doors.
So you have more chance to get in, and nobody will spot you from far.
Yeah. Will you add some sort of in-game chat, in-game voice, so that it's easier to communicate with your teammates? We added gestures, and that's probably the extent of what we have in mind right now. I mean, obviously we don't know what the game holds, but this is something that we feel it's the extent of where we want to go with that. Am I wrong?
You're right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Killers do dodging lobbies, overall searching for matches. Any improvements for that?
Yes.
That's
so is that time now?
Yes, it's that time for this one.
Okay, let's go to where do I have? I have notes here. No, it's not there. Oh, we put that on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a picture of the board.
Oh.
Okay, Dave, you're going to talk about this. Can we show the board? No, that's not the board.
That's not the board.
Thank you. Isn't that upside down?
That's amazing.
Okay, so everybody, please flip your monitor.
Yeah, just if you're watching on the TV, then just turn around.
Okay,
well,
so
I can do this without a support.
Okay, go.
So just get rid of the image. Okay,
image removed. Good.
Yeah. So there's multiple things happening here in the lobbies. We know that there is a reservation bug. There is something that's really hard to get on our side. Like we need a lot of data from the exterior, so not internally. We need data from you guys that play and get this bug, where you can't even join a lobby. It just says nothing found. The little patches that were put in at the beginning of the week, that's the analytics. So we're getting more data about this, and we'll catch this bug and we'll fix it.
Crush it.
Yes. Lobby as well for dodgers, which is a big problem. So this here is what we're thinking of doing as a first pass for this issue. So first thing is that we will hide the rank and the level of the survivors for the killer. So the killer will not have this information. So with that, with the lack of information, they won't be able to just jump out as soon as the survivor comes in. We're also thinking of locking the lobby once 4 survivors are in the lobby. Why we're doing this is because 4 survivors popping in at the same time could be detected as, well, this is a survivor group, I don't want to play against a survivor friends group, so I dodge and get out. Killers that create a server and quit when it's in lockdown will have a 15 minutes cooldown to be able to create a new server. They'll be able to jump in as a survivor, but they won't be able to create a new server right away. There you go.
So those changes are obviously, we were talking about it on a board this morning, so they're not going to make it to tomorrow's patch, but we understand that this is a critical issue right now, and we'll address it as fast as we can. The thing you have to keep in mind, well, we have to keep in mind mostly, is the fact that anytime we fiddle with matchmaking and lobbies, even the smallest change, it's a very risky thing, because if we break it, then you can't play the game. So
there's already the question about the laggy, and if I'm locked in a room with laggy.
Exactly. So this is why survivors are not locked out. So I know that there are some ping issues right now, and until we fix those, survivor will still be able to use the little 1111 trick, and will be able to quit a lobby if it's laggy. Anything done inside the game, either by a cheat engine that is eventually going to be cut by EAC, or other ways to put a latency in the game, we'll find a solution to that in time.
There you go. Okay, will there ever be non-humanoid killers?
There's no reason why not.
Well, it's a challenge, obviously.
Well, yeah.
A technical challenge, but there's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't.
No, I don't see why not in the future.
I want to play at the Blob.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. It's really not.
What about new animals? You briefly addressed it last time, but did not say much, if I recall correctly. For example, dogs in cages who would bark at you when you get too close.
Dog in a cage? It's just mean.
Were we talking about rats or something?
Rats in a cage?
Not in a cage.
Okay.
Snakes?
I'm getting them stuck on the cage?
Snakes in a plane, maybe?
Okay, snakes in the plane.
Do you want to talk about the other animal that wasn't the prototype?
And okay.
Pig. We mentioned the pig.
Yeah, we did mention the pig. So yeah, I mean that it's not beyond the realms of possibility that another animal could appear in the level. As I said, maybe we did. I can't remember whether we talked about it. We had a pig in the prototype that would act as a noise distractor. Yeah, so the killer could end up chasing after the pig, which was relatively interesting. Lots of screamings and curses. So yeah, it's not. If it has good gameplay implications, if it works and it's what we want to do, then we'll add other animals in. It makes sense.
Will a shark in a tornado? Yes.
I've heard of that.
That would be a killer.
Or maybe, yeah. Will there ever be a buff to leadership where you can get some altruism points when somebody completes a task with your leadership's help?
Okay, so basically changes to perks. So that one was really specific. A lot of people are asking that Dwight being buffed.
Yeah.
Maybe. We're looking actively into all the perks.
Yeah. You've seen with the last update that we are absolutely
there's gonna be
happy to change our perks.
Yeah.
Why is there only one way into the basement that's so narrow? The killer can block the entire and leave no way in and out. Yeah, the basement is a scary place. You should not feel safe, and you should feel like you are in terrible danger going there.
Get in. I read sorry, go on there.
I just want to say something about this and the hook camping as well. Yeah. Actually, 2 things. First thing about camping, even though we did say that it is a poor strategy that could be used, we will probably address it differently in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, other thing is that we've been looking at the flashlight.
Yeah, I wrote that down as well. So that was a question that came up.
All right, flashlight It could be way better. It could be easier to use. We're looking into it so that more people use it, and especially in those cases where the killer is protecting the basement or protecting the hook, it's amazing to use and to save frames with it.
Good. What was wrong with the old running animation? Why the females like Meg run so girly when she's athletic? So that comes back to the variety of animations and like the problem we have. It's not a problem. It's one of the limitations that we decided to go with is the fact that we are not creating custom animations for each and every character in the game, every survivor. It would make it difficult for us to release more survivors, more killers, more content.
Releasing more content?
Yes, I've heard about that. Mostly in the form of new chapters for the story.
Oh,
one
new
might
chapter.
say.
Okay.
Right now, all the female are sharing animations for the most part, except a few things like idle animations for the lobby and things that give a little more personality. But yes, so we decided to have different animations, but only per gender. So that doesn't really answer the question much, but it explains why all the females are sharing animation. Therefore, Meg, who's a little more sporty, still runs with a bit of a girly run, which kind of works for Claudette. Maybe doesn't work as much for Meg, but hopefully when we get to 57 different females in the game, that makes more sense. Are you guys gonna add more music soundtracks? I've heard a lot of your music soundtrack at the countdown on Twitch. So. Yeah, I think some of the tracks are very sparsely present in the game.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it's because it's dynamic music again, with many different layers and many different tracks working in different places at different times. It's an incredibly complex system, but. Yeah, when you look at our soundtrack, there are a lot of tracks on the soundtrack, and then when you try and think of the music in our game, you might go, "Oh yeah, there's like this one and that one," and like, but everything all goes together. Like it's weird. So,
but the quick answer is no. We might add more music.
Yes, almost definitely, maybe, probably.
Yeah,
it would be something that we'd like to do. It would be good to thicken the palette of the music.
The soup.
The music soup must increase.
Will there be maps from different time periods, like World War II or some other early historic time period? Also, does the entity determine who to take as survivors, and how does it acquire killers for its game?
Two questions.
We did answer that.
One, can you be sure? Yeah, can you be sure that the maps are not from that time period?
Mm-hmm. Most maps have elements that date them more or less.
And what was the second part?
How does the entity determine who to take as survivors?
I'm going to dodge it.
Yep.
And who to take to acquire killers for its game.
Also dodged. But you can definitely find out hints to that if you look at the diary of Benedict.
I have a feeling that with the addition of new killers and survivors and maps, you might actually get more information on that.
As in a new chapter.
Yes.
August. Free, you say?
Yes, I've mentioned that in the past.
And August is like, it's the 11th already.
Of August. So we need to get our shit together and get that out the door.
How do I not even know about it?
Well, you are very oblivious. Maybe you were playing some game.
Yes.
Are the whispers from the killer perk directional? When I turn, they sound like they may be coming from a direction.
It's one from Dave.
Which one? See, that's what happened when I read the chat. I don't listen to questions.
So are the whispers from the killer perk directional?
They are not.
Okay. What inspired your design choices for the recent character wardrobe editions? Going forward, what type of fashions can player expect?
Ostriches.
So, as you see, if you looked at the art book, I completely disregarded your comment, by the way. If you look at the art book, you see that when we created characters, we tend to make like a big palette of all the different styles that they could have, and it sort of paints a little better picture of who that character is and what they may have done and things like that.
Before we do that, that's not random. We have a description. We know what the character is going to be. Yeah.
So that's based off of that, and so the new outfits that we created and the new looks that we created for the characters were based off of that, essentially expanding on what the characters are.
They're based on a part of their life cycle.
Claudette is as a lab equipment because she works in a
botany lab. Or as a student of botany.
Yes.
In the botanistry.
She's a botanologist, for sure.
And then
no, that's the same with Meg. Because Meg
Meg,
is,
she plays for the Corvids.
Absolutely, or did at some point. I mean, they're all different versions of them through time. We see Dwight going through his
phase as a pizza delivery guy
to the manager,
Yep.
and so each one is taking them through their life.
which is how things are.
That is how things are, so pay attention.
Will you ever add an old-timer survivor, one who has been in the entity's playground for a long time and thus has very little emotion?
How do you know they haven't all been in the Entity's playground for a while?
Well, the age, the snapshotted
You mean
age of the character.
real, as if they were alive? In like if that, yes. So maybe is the answer. Maybe, almost definitely, probably, possibly, could be.
Yes.
That's horrible. So yes, we actually have a really cool thing about that, which we will talk about in the next chapter, not this one.
Which chapter?
In the developer's view, that's you, by the way, or you, or me maybe. Do you think 4 experienced expert players with max perks have a greater advantage than a veteran completely perked killer? Granted, there are maps and offerings that alter the balance, but let's ignore those for this question. What do you think? 4 geeked out, geared out survivors that talk together versus 1 fully geared killer that knows what they're doing?
It's a really hard one to predict that day, that level, that time, those generators, those door placements. I mean, that's the reason those things exist. Is like it could swing either way. It depends on that first kill.
The short. Oh yeah. Okay. What do you say? 50-50? Could go either way.
If the survivors make it through the first few minutes, then I think it swings very hard towards them. But if a killer takes one out early, then I think it's
Yep.
Anything goes. Will there be more ways to stun the killers? I'm getting tired of wooden pallets.
I think so. I think that we want more interactive bits around the levels. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Will you patch the suffocation pit on the Macmillan estate? It's still really broken and people can still window cheese there.
Ah,
Yes.
that's interesting. Yeah. So window cheesing.
Oh, let's get there and
Yeah.
hit that with
Yeah,
that.
let's
let's
talk a little
talk
bit
about
about
it.
cheese while I eat a cookie.
Yeah. So it's another stalemate scenario, and we're hunting these, and we want to fix them with code rules, meaning that, well,
Yeah, well, as a
stalemates needs to disappear.
Yeah, as a statement that we, people have asked us to, will you make a statement on this, like officially, like what is your opinion on it? We do not like stalemate situations that cannot end the game. We do not like them, we do not want them. We are fully aware that we created them, and you guys have exposed them for us nicely, and we will look at ways to stop them. We tried to do it softly, gently. That would be our preferred approach, to try and keep the game as free, as much and dynamic as possible. But if necessary, window cheesing, we will take it to the next level, and we will find a way to stop window
Yeah, there is a more global solution currently brewing.
Okay, thank you for that. Who is Viggo? As referenced in the superscript for the offering Viggo's Shroud.
could be important.
It's really cool. We have a lot of questions about the lore, and we're all dodging them, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me who Viggo is.
He's a man.
Is he a man?
Yeah.
Is he
He's a
still
man.
a man?
I think so.
Oh.
Maybe not.
I haven't seen Viggo
Lately.
in the game.
I haven't seen him
haven't
lately.
I haven't.
Are there plans to flesh out the lore of the game? A map of weeks and the extent of the fog that has enveloped it would be awesome.
I would love to do a map of weeks. But no, there are plans to flesh out the thing. I mean, we're dodging them because we'd like to find ways to give more lore to you without just telling you out loud on a Twitch.
Yeah, we want you
So-
to discover it in the game when we put it in the game.
Yeah, we will find ways to put more lore in the game. We will find ways to explain more and tell more and do more as we move forward. As you probably can tell, we've been very busy with the other issues of the game right now before we get to really start exploring more of that. But it comes back over and over again. We love it. We have plans. We want to do stuff, so we'll get there.
Okay, there's a very long question here essentially saying, are there going to be more variations on the killer's cooldown animation of wiping the blood? There are different versions for the different killers. We probably will not be adding more variations to, let's say, what the Trapper does or what the Hillbilly does, but the new ones will probably have
Sure.
different versions of their little cooldown thing.
There are new ones?
Yes, it's all part of the new chapters that
When
we're
do they
gonna.
come?
Well, there's one in August. I
Okay.
know that for sure.
And for how much?
Well, I believe it's free.
Oh, there you go.
It's a thank you, really, to all of you out there. All right. How is optimizing the game coming along? I have a 970 and 479K, and sometimes I sit at 30, 40 FPS on killer.
30, 40?
It's going great, by the way, optimizing the game.
Well, we're never gonna make it so that the minimum requirements go down. That's not gonna happen.
No.
So if you have trouble with the setup you have right now, it's probably gonna be like that.
Yeah, I think so now. That's where we are with that.
Can we have separate ranked and just normal games so that we can just play for fun as well as competitively?
Yeah, it's been on the table a couple of times. We're not just ready for that move yet.
There you go. When you, as developers, see player feedback, mostly coming from people who are dissatisfied because nobody seems to speak up about good things, what's your design process for trying to compare the vision of the players to the original vision of the developers and moving forward with a compromise or adjustments? Like, do you have a process for handling these sort of suggestions?
Well, the first one is reaching for the tissues. To wipe our
No,
tears.
but before we answer that one, I want to say something. Last week was surprisingly emotionally pleasant. I don't know what happened. There's always people who speak and are dissatisfied. That's always going to happen. And some have very valid points, some don't. But last week, strangely enough, we had an influx of very positive people and good, happy, polite people sending us delightful messages. I got a few personal tweets. There's a delightful lady out there who sent me a picture of her cat, an adorable furry ball, and it just very people who just said, you know, you've done a great job, you've made a great game, thank you, keep at it. And we know the game's not perfect, we know there's problems, we know there's frustration, and we try to remember that the only reason people get so intensely frustrated is because they are emotionally involved with the game. If you didn't give a shit about the game, you wouldn't care that it's not working the way you would like it to work. But sometimes it's a little hard. We are sensitive people. Dave is a softie.
So after the tissues.
Yes.
What
Do go on. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
So
Go
Dave, what happens is this design process. Dave shouts at me. I then shove it on a board. We then get distracted with some key making the game better features. Then we go back to the board and list out solutions. Then we list hundreds of them and then we fix it.
Then the
One by
technical
one.
people go, you can't do that.
Yeah, then we get told we can't do anything, and then we tell them we have to do everything, and then that's how it goes.
Then I get involved and say, okay, you guys have to get along now.
It's like everybody get along.
Well,
So I
that was a
force
very
them to hold
simplistic,
hands.
That's how
very
game development
simplistic
works. It's
explanation.
just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dave, you want to spend a little bit
Well,
more about how we do it?
It depends on what it is. Like if it's a problem,
Yeah.
we look at it to see if it's a real problem.
Yeah, we do have to look at stats also. It's not just people screaming. We also look at the stats to see if it's an actual problem or it's a perceived problem.
Yeah,
Although
Yeah.
a perceived problem is still very much a
Oh
problem.
yeah, for sure. So what's the type of problem? And we gather as much data as we can, analytic data, but also like people playing. We can look at videos online of the problem, things like that. So we have to get a good view of what the problem is, and then we lock ourselves into a room and we find solutions. And these solutions are complicated to find in most cases because we want to preserve the core of the game. Like we don't want to
Yeah,
put a
because
fix in there just to put a fix.
one of the assessments we have to make is whether it's an end game problem or whether it's affecting the whole user base. Now, they're always affecting the whole user base at some point or other. Like matchmaking, for example, affects everyone. Window cheesing doesn't affect everyone, but it can affect everyone. So, we have to look at the problem and then work out exactly its severity. And we need to be able to support new players who are coming in for the first time, people who are just maturing through the game, and then, high-end, high-ranked players and the experiences they're having. And all three are equally important. There's no one or the other. We just have to try and assess which one we're going to fix at which point and how many resources we've got to do it for each one. But nonetheless, we go through the design process of how we'd fix it. So.
Also very important, it's not just us, we have a very talented team that we love.
Yes,
and
true.
They
And
also
need.
come with their own problem and solution and ideas to make the game better, and we also put that in our basket of ideas. And then once we have a solution that we all agree on, it's going to be prioritized as when can we fix this? When do we want to fix it? You know,
Yeah.
what's the priority?
And then we have our patch schedule, and we try and slot it in at the right place at the right time.
It's really complicated.
It's incredibly complicated. If you've never made a game, it's complicated.
Try it. Seriously, no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
recommend
try
it. There's so many really cool tools out there you can use. Whether I don't want to name any because they're not paying me. No, that's not true. I don't care. But you know, the Unities and Game Makers and all these really cool tools out there. Try to make a game. Have fun.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
it's super satisfying. It's tough. The hardest bit is actually finishing a game.
Yeah.
Starting a game is easy.
Oh yeah. That's like many things in life.
Will there be outfits for killers down the line?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are slots.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think I say that once a week or once a day.
yeah.
But
Bit
it keeps
of
getting
love for the killers.
deprioritized.
A little bit of love
That's,
for the killers.
that's why they're so angry. They always have the same.
I want more clothes.
I want a hat.
Oh no, that was mouth voice words. What?
Yeah, they just go. Will, just wondering, is anything being done for all the wasted offerings? For example, I burn a Primrose Blossom and the Killer DCs, or if I lose connection, either that offering
I
is
think
gone.
that people maybe have been thinking that maybe we were like, oh, we're crying little our game. It's so hard to make games. What a nightmare.
No, it's fine.
We're just letting you know. That's all. It's fine.
It's satisfying. So will we do something about wasted offerings? It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I understand the frustration that if the killer DC and you lose your very rare thing that you had at end it's.
But it's tough to know because the game has ended. So anyway, so I guess no is the answer. It's an unhappy no.
Yeah.
When will Rate be given an actual bell to hold?
But that is an
To all of you on the
awesome
team.
question.
It's invisible. No, that's not the real answer.
Yeah.
No, but it's a great question.
Very insightful.
Well, all I will say is this: there is an actual bell.
It's been
Yeah,
modeled.
There's a
It's
model.
beautiful.
It's out, and if you can't see it,
That's our fault.
that's all. Exactly. So when will they get a bell? At some point, I imagine. Maybe not. I don't know. That's
Yeah. That's it. It's all part of the priority.
The problem is it's not breaking the game right now.
That's
That's
why
it.
it gets deprioritized.
Yeah.
Could we have a stream with the concept artists of the game? We could.
We could do that. Yeah.
We could have a special stream with just Mathieu's.
Just on his own.
No, just me and Mathieu
We should
Lamache,
do-
and then Mathieu Levert.
We should do a Joy of Painting with Matthew with that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So yes,
No
it's
pressure.
something. The other thing that was asked was Q&A with QA.
Oh yeah, cool.
That could be interesting.
Mhm.
Get all of them in
Yeah.
here.
That'd be cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some
that'd be
sort of
very
a
interesting.
choir of the angels.
Mm. So there's some people that don't know what we're doing in the game
Oh,
because we
really?
Oh,
don't
well,
know
that
it anymore.
happens.
Okay, so Dave?
Don't confuse everybody.
That doesn't help anyone. I'm Ash. I'm the creative director on the game.
What do you do?
Yeah, I get shouted at by Dave, and I put things on a whiteboard
It's-
and make priorities.
Yes, and yeah. So I'm Mathieu. I'm the producer on the project. So I mostly just point at stuff vigorously and tell people, no, we can't do that.
Exactly.
It's a good description. And I'm Dave. I'm the lead designer. You know what those do.
Yes, you write lots and lots of documentation. Have you got plans to print the art book?
Well, we had very big plans to do that.
So big, in fact, that we
No, we
actually
haven't.
have printed some copies.
we,
Where is it? Where is it?
It's at home. I cuddle with it every night.
Me too. I did some cuddling last night. It was good.
But other than that, they don't exist. However, Paul is currently looking at a few areas of things that we could create. Physical Dead by Daylight things. I will leave it at that. Physical Dead by Daylight things that you could hold in your hand in exchange for, I don't know, monies, I guess, or coins. Do you think the anti-cheat you're using is efficient? Can we have some statistics about how many people have already been banned? So the anti-cheat system that we're using is doing what it's doing. It's quite good. They are learning every day. The problem is there is a group of people in the world out there whose activity is what they do for fun is to break games and crack them. They're not the people playing the game, but they like to create cheats for the game. They like to break the game and see how it works, which I completely understand. But that means that as soon as anti-cheat creates a foolproof version of their system, then some fool creates a better crack for it, and then it's a sort of a never-ending arms race.
I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like it's the best solution to handle that kind of situation, because whatever solution we pick, we're either going to have to do it ourselves or have someone else do it, and they're dedicated to the anti-cheat.
But to answer this question non-specifically, there have been many thousands of people banned so far.
A lot.
And every time there's a new hack that pops up, every time there's a new something that comes up, if they haven't spotted it at Easy Anticheat, we point it out to them and they go, oh cool, and then they fix it. But I mean, it's a cycle that keeps coming. And on that note, did you mention there's a groundbreaking precedent today?
Oh yeah, well I think
Just
it's
an
the
item
first
of
time.
news.
I think it's the first time that happens. Riot is actually suing creators of hacking tools, so that's
kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's going to set a precedent for the gaming world, I think.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there who have like more or less legitimate businesses where they sell
a lot
or
of money for this.
yeah, they rent like I think it's actually this we sell our games for what? $20?
Yep.
And they ask for something like $10 a month.
15
bucks a month to cheat the game.
In a $20 game.
So we're in the wrong business. No. Yeah. Short question.
Okay.
Can the killers swim?
No. Which one?
Oh yeah, I think they can swim.
Some can.
I mean, if there was water in a map, could they cross it normally? Just for the lore.
Like Jesus.
Probably some of them might be able to run above it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some might
swim. Some them walk at the bottom.
Some might not walk.
Some are super absorbent,
Well, like a sponge.
so they would just soak it up.
Do we have a merman killer maybe?
We had that in the list, but it's
Merman.
not right now unlocked in the vanilla game, I believe.
I see.
Oh, there's more coming?
Well, I heard there's a new chapter of the story that
Okay.
might be revealed during the month of August.
August.
Yes.
Ah.
This August, because I saw someone comment it's probably August 30, 16.
Probably.
But no.
No, it's this August.
This August.
And it's free, you say?
Really?
Yeah, no way.
That seems a little,
generous.
well,
Not at all.
it's grateful.
It is. It's gratitude.
What is the button new content in the menu used for? It's always inactive.
Well,
It's a coming soon thing. So that's actually going to be
That's a shot.
Soon. Damn it! Twice. I said it. It's 2 shots. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So
Yes.
That
in
would
the
be-
near future,
yeah.
it's going to be activated, and it's
With
there
what?
so that with news, so that you can get the patch notes. You
Oh, yeah.
will know what happens, what is coming
What is
next.
What's coming next?
I think it's an August thing.
Okay.
And it's free.
So we might see that button active in August?
Oh, well, I wouldn't be that surprised if it happened.
In August, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And this August even.
Not any other August.
Well, yeah,
It's
no.
not August at like a different August in a different part of the world?
No.
It's the same August.
Timelines are mostly about hours and not months.
Interesting.
I love Clueless Ash. it's a great character.
I saw something pass by and I was about to answer it because I thought it was very
do
interesting, and then I completely blanked out. So there.
Matthew,
Side note, we do have an official wiki now. It's linked at the top of the website, the official website if you check. So that's cool. There's some very interesting information there. We now have a Steam subforum for the lore. There have been some really, really cool little bits of stories posted in there. I personally have read, I read everything 2 days ago, so since then I'm sure there's much more, but it's really, really cool. I have a note here of things that I need to mention. The first thing is about Steam reviews. So there's a lot of people that reviewed our game and put a thumbs down because we didn't have the survive with friends and any way to play with their friends. And if you feel so inclined, and that was your case, now that it's in, it's okay to go and change your review. That would actually make us very happy. So you might think that Steam reviews are sort of irrelevant. They kind of matter. They have an impact. It's the same for the new fans. Anybody out there who's a fan of the game and likes it, just going to give us a thumbs up actually makes quite a bit of difference. So if you feel so inclined, please do so. I have a note here for next Resect. Did we talk about that?
We covered it.
Yeah. So let's never mention this again. I have another note, but I had to go and do some research to find the information that Paul so nicely sent for me. So talk about a thing for a
Give me
moment.
a question. You finished all the questions?
Yeah, we've gone through all the questions.
So,
yeah, we could talk about points farming.
oh yes,
Ooh,
let's
yes,
make us
and
look, I'm
gentle killers.
Which is another statement part of, we don't like that.
No.
We want to fix it. It ruins the experience for everyone involved. It's not fun. Killers should be feared,
Yeah.
not be friends.
No.
So
Friendly
so
killer,
yeah,
no.
we've started looking at the issues, and first of all, there's going to be a balance pass made to point making, so that the killers are more balanced on this front. And I just saw the feed where you get angry and do this with your paper, and it was quite funny.
That was good.
Like, don't do it again. I'm unfocused. So there's this, and also we're going to look into. We actually already have a plan that we like to address this issue. So in near future, it's going to appear. The changes. That's it.
There you go. So there are 2 upcoming events, 3 that I want to talk about. So on Saturday, August the 13th, oh my God, it's this Saturday. So the Kraken team is doing a 36-hour charity event. So that's a stream they'll have. It's a 36-hour event. There's going to be a lot of really cool people there. It's for Action Against Hunger. It's a really good cause. And I will be there at some point during those 36 hours, not for the full thing, but I'll be there to answer some questions and to give giveaways, I think. So there's that. The other thing is Gamescom is on August 18th, but it starts a little before that. But Twitch will be having a special, they're probably going to be streaming the whole time, I assume. But we will have a few segments with them. The first one being at 2:45 p.m. CEST. It's a 15-minute segment, and don't miss it.
No, don't do that. Do
Because
not do that.
it's
Do
gonna be
not
it's gonna be juicy, I hear.
Spicy and juicy.
Mmm, delicious. And the third event that I wanted to mention is PAX West.
Feel
Please
free
do
to
go on.
mention that.
So
in
PAX
many
West
ways.
is starting on on September 2nd. So that's way past the month of August, where people will have been happy now to play with what I believe to be the new chapter of the story.
When?
Let's during the month of August.
Okay.
So in September, right after the month of August, we will be at PAX West to shake hands and talk to people and have people play the game and then be excited about this and that. Come see us, please. Come hug and shake our hands. We have a few special things that we will be distributing to people who show up at the booth. We also expect to have a few tournaments, and the people who win will have an exclusive, exciting thing for them. And anybody who comes by the booth in cosplay of Dead by Daylight, obviously,
Obviously.
will get something ultra super special. So yeah,
Ultra super.
ultra super special.
Is it a slap?
You.
No, that's upon request. That can be arranged.
It costs extra.
There you go. So I think we're up to the segment we called From Around the Web.
Yes.
Is that what we called it last time?
Well, yes. That's what I would say about
I don't know. So it's time to showcase a few of the cool things that we found that some people have created based on our game. So can you show us the first thing, please? I believe the caption here read, "Hi, I'm Dwight Fairfield, and welcome to Jackass." Thank you very much.
It's great.
Dwight.
Oh, Dwight.
Everybody loves Dwight. It's beautiful.
Now, this is great.
It's not a true representation. Oh, see? Gentle killers.
Friendly killers.
Beautiful.
Really great work.
This was actually a screen grab from last week when we had trouble with the mic.
We did not have any.
And someone did this mashup and it upset me.
Are you Dwight?
We actually...
I've seen 3 times it's come up now. Are you Dwight? Are you?
Maybe I should just take my glasses off.
Well, then you'll bump into things.
No. I'll be
No.
fine.
So are you?
I'm not Dwight.
There you go.
We actually had the real Dwight come by and say hello to people a few weeks ago.
Did it happen? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, well, it's you weren't there, so I had to find the most special person I could find to try to have people be patient. Actually, it's upsetting. So yeah, we had the real Dwight come by and show his face. So that's not me.
Okay.
Not you, official. For facts, it is not Matt.
But in the end, aren't we all a little bit Dwight?
I don't feel very Dwight.
You're just denying it.
I'm always Dwight in the game. I'm Pizza Dwight.
You Pizza Dwight?
Pizza Dwight every time.
That's cool.
There you go. And yeah, some people were asking why some of the costumes and the customization items that we created were rather difficult to hide in.
Oh, I don't know. There's always a bit of camouflage around. I had a great moment on top of the Combine Harvester in the farm with Dwight's red shirt. It's almost 100% cover on that.
And the
Could have
thing
walked right past. It was great.
there's never gonna be a camo outfit. Oh, that's not
You
true.
said never, like we're never going to do that.
Well,
Shot.
is it? No, I don't think that's a shot.
We
We're gonna
don't-
create a rule
Not yet.
now.
No.
You're going to create a rule live on Twitch?
No.
Okay, no. But I get the point. It's not our goal to make invisible survivors.
The idea is that every single costume has places where it's very efficient and places where it sucks.
Yep, absolutely. And some are better than others. But sometimes I wear Pizza Dwight top because I want the pain. I want to
It's
know
a
I made
challenge.
it out with.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't
It's-
take perks. Red top perks. Take me out, killer. That's
There
why
you
I'm
go.
ranked 20.
balls of steel, and
Okay.
yet it doesn't. You don't manage to
I don't care.
pull it off.
I don't care. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So it is 4 minutes left. So
Okay. So what do you want to talk about?
PS4?
What's on PS4?
Question mark. That's the question. PS4 question mark. It is a console. It's great.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
So people often ask things like, "What's your favorite?" Well, we see that Dwight is obviously your favorite survivor. You barely ever play killer, do you?
No, not very much.
But when you do,
Trapper is easiest for me.
okay.
It's a beginner killer. I think it suits my playstyle better.
What about you? Favorite survivor?
the new one.
What new one?
What new
Are
one?
you joking?
You're pronouncing it weird.
Don't understand.
So the new one.
Yeah, that one. And favorite killer? That's not the new one.
Oh.
Hillbilly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the surprise guy. Okay.
He's great. I mean, I like to think of my favorite killer by the one I face off against.
Yeah.
most. And without doubt, a hillbilly in the right hands is It's really, really scary. I mean, all of them have their moments, but the hillbilly is the one I have the most trouble with my playstyle avoiding. For sure. Like, not always, because it does take some mastery to master the hillbilly, and but when in the right hands, it's insanely devastating.
It's funny. I rarely play the survivor, but when I do, I play. My favorite survivor is Meg. I just love Meg, and yet I play Dwight.
Yeah, and that's weird because my favorite is Jake, but I play Dwight, and Meg sometimes too.
Are you guys Dwight?
What?
Is it based on you?
Am I Dwight?
Are you Dwight?
Am I actually Dwight?
No.
Or are you Dwight?
You Dwight?
No,
that's not me.
Officially, Matt is not Dwight.
And I have to say that my favorite killer is the new one. Because seriously,
I don't get this. What new one?
Well, you can watch the Twitch a little later, but mostly it's about turning a new chapter in our story.
Is a new chapter?
Yes.
Oh.
When is it?
Well, it might be for the month of August.
No, I don't want to.
I believe the recipe is going to be about killers, survivors, and maps.
It's going to be a new place?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's sort of all linked together in a nice little story, essentially.
Oh, that's cool. We like that. So, how much does it cost?
Well, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Well, do you have the game?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll have it.
There you go.
Sweet. So we should close on that?
Shut it down. Shut it down before we say something else.
Yeah. So, next killer is...
Shh. What? What? Are you freezing?
Yeah, I was freezing.
Were you going to say something? Next killer
Can't
is...
do that.
Well, no, but we're not time... Close it.
No,
Shut it down.
Bye!